Hi, everybody. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late. Just trying to kind of get my bearings today. My sign fell down. So let's go ahead and play the intro while I kind of get myself together. But if you can't tell, it's my birthday today, so we're going to party. But this is our mystery topic wheel. So let's play the intro and then let's get started with today's topic, whatever that may be, and what the wheel comes up with while I fix my sign. All right, see you in a minute.
I got a feeling that you got me covered too. I got you covered. I got you covered.
Thank you, Sandy Wandy. Thank you, Snapback. I was just a few minutes late. One of the unfortunate things, I guess, that's kind of happened is my energy level is just, it's non existent, really. And it's slowly coming back, but I'm just really tired very quickly from everything. And of course, everything that kind of went on and happened over the past 2 months. But we're here to celebrate. And I'm telling you, I can honestly say one of the things and the gifts that I gave myself was certainly being at, feeling better. That was a birthday gift. I kind of thankful that my body decided to give me. My cupcakes over there, but I'll grab it later. And of course, just feeling halfway decent, getting over the asthma, doing all that kind of stuff. And, just kind of get back to normal life. I'm still working to get caught up with the devotions. I got breakfast this morning. Josh brought me Dunkin' Donuts breakfast. I had coffee. I think I need a little bit more coffee, though, in a little bit. And I've been crocheting, and I watched an Elvis movie this morning, and I'm actually watching That's the Way It Is, and I'm debating whether or not to work on the devotions, which I know I should do, or whether I just want to spend the afternoon till it's time to eat, which is my grandmother's spaghetti sauce. I can't wait. If you haven't seen that recipe, there's a giveaway in it too. So hopefully you will come and participate tonight. We are giving a $25 gift card away tonight. So that will happen to somebody in the chat at the very end. Oh, Sandy, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. That is you're a true blessing and a true friend and a true supporter, and we are so blessed to have you. So I am so thankful for your friendship. But we will be doing a live tonight, and if I can figure out how to do this so that I can put chats on the screen, I will. If not, at least I can do something. But I just haven't figured it out yet. And it shouldn't be that hard, but I'm just trying to kind of figure out how to do it. And I don't quite know how to do it yet. So I'm looking forward to figuring that out. I don't know how to get things on the screen. I did do like a chat box, but the chat box was so small you couldn't see it. And you couldn't see it. And so it was like not even worth to me having it on there. So I didn't. I took it off. But there's a way to do it. I just really have to sit and figure out how to do it. There's aspects of Streamlabs I love, and there's aspects of StreamYard that I miss. And one of them is, of course, putting the comments up. But thank you, Sandy, very much for that. I appreciate that. That will certainly go to Mama, and I appreciate just more importantly your friendship, and I am so thankful for that. And so let's get into spinning the wheel. This is not the birthday celebration. This is we're going to spin the wheel. We're going to have mystery topic Wednesday, and then tonight we're going to do our celebration. And then, of course, we're going to, at the end of the live tonight, hopefully I can figure that out too, we'll do a giveaway for a $25 Amazon gift card. And then the spaghetti sauce recipe is up. There's another giveaway hidden within that spaghetti sauce. And I'm so looking forward to having my grandmother's spaghetti sauce dinner. And what I found out really in the past, since we've been on YouTube, my birthday since my dad's passing has been difficult. This one's a little hard because of the loss of Patty. And so I find out, though, that's what's kind of happened. Hi, Yarn Buff, how are you? What's kind of happened is I'm busy today. I've got this one. I'm going to be on Big Jack Storytime at 7 p.m. He's having his 50th show with the Iron Sharpening Iron, so he's invited people that have been on before. So I'll be on his show. Then we have the 8 o'clock show. I don't quite know, again, whether I'm doing devotions or whether I'm just going to relax and chill for the rest of the day. I don't know. But tomorrow, if I don't do them today, I'm going to have to be on the ball with them tomorrow because I do want to get caught up and then just edit really a lot over the weekend to get them all caught up. We'll just see where I'm sitting at. But so I'm busy today. I don't really have time to kind of be sad or down or whatever that is. I'm just kind of like, I'm here and I'm thankful beyond belief for all the support. And I've got to upload Scott's song too, get that up because I took that down when I got Streamlab and I have to be able to put that back up. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see what mystery topic is going to come up today. The past 2 topics have been something I've known about. Now I haven't figured out, I'm going to take this off for right now. I haven't figured out how to put it on the wheel or on this computer yet, so I'm going to have to show you on my phone. Here it goes. What is the topic going to be today? Hopefully it's something happy. I didn't see what it is, but you all got to see what it is. Chronic pain. Well, it's something that I'm familiar with. So that is a topic that we have for today. That's it. Chronic pain. One of these days I'll figure out how to get this thing on the wheel. Well, let's start off with this. Yeah, I know the topic well. Let's start off with this. First of all, I think that with chronic pain, you need to realize one thing. You cannot beat yourself up if you're having a rough day. Now, yesterday, my intentions were to get in the devotions because I think I recorded through to the 3rd. It's the 18th because of everything that happened. We're several devotions behind, to say the least. And it was probably about 5 o'clock. I had put together my grandmother's spaghetti sauce, which I really wanted to be the one to cook it. I can't cook too often anymore because of everything, but I wanted to be the one to cook it. And so I did a live yesterday, and then I came through and ate something, and I was putting this video together, trying to put the spaghetti sauce recipe together. And I tend to, when I'm in pain, every once in a while, and I never know when they're going to hit, unfortunately, I get these chills. And somebody said to me, what your body is doing is your body's in pain, so it's taking energy to be able to deal with the pain, and you get cold. And so I got those cold chills that I get. They're no fun. And I thought, I can't seem to get this video put together that I want to put together. And so I've got to stop. And this was probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock. And I thought, I just need to put the blankets over me, stop for a little bit, and, get myself, refocused again. And so that's exactly what I did. I slept for an hour. I woke up and I'm like, I didn't want to sleep that long, but I guess my body needed it. When those chills start, I have to stop everything I'm doing, no matter what time it is. And I've got to stop moving for whatever long takes it is for my body to kind of warm back up again. And it did, and I fell asleep, and I felt wonderful. I got that video done so quickly because I had rested my body. So one of the things about chronic pain that I have learned over the time that I've had to deal with it is you cannot beat yourself up. You know, I really wanted to be ahead on those devotions. And unfortunately, because of everything that has happened over the past 2.5 months, 3 months, it is what it is. When I was coming off of the 3rd round of that medication, guys, I was no good to nobody. I wasn't even good to myself. You know, I was tired, I was exhausted, and what has been bugging the daylights out of me is I find myself right now really tired really quick, which is just like, I don't want to be that. I mean, I usually don't have a high energy level, but because of everything, my body is finally kind of going back to, you've been through so much. Now you're getting back, your asthma's calming down, everything else that put me in the hospital is calming me, you know, it's all taken care of for now. And you've got to recover. And so my body's trying to recover. It's trying to get back to what my chronic pain level is, which is sitting at about a 2 or 3. Another thing that I'm going to say to anybody dealing with chronic pain is just do yourself a favor. Do not sit there. Find something. Hi, Diana. Welcome on in. Do not sit there. And just as a side note, before I forgot, my goal was to get Mama's channel up to 1,700 by my birthday. We did that. Not only that, we're sitting at 17. I'll get the accurate amount right now because it doesn't show it. 1714. We're 14 more subscribers than the goal was. So yay! I can't wait to get to 2,000. I'm looking forward to that because we're going to have a celebration. So that's another. Hi, Christy. Of course, Christy is Yarn Barf. And so we're going to celebrate for sure when that happens, when we get to 2,000. But you know, I find out that if I sit there going, I'm hurting, this is really miserable, you know what? It's not going to help my mental well-being. I need to get my hands busy. I've really found out that I need a little bit of time in the morning to get up, have my coffee, and I spend about an hour or 2 hours crocheting. That really starts my day off on a really good level and gets me going for the morning. And it just takes my body a little bit of time to warm itself up and get going for the day. I had those chills yesterday, Yarn Barf said, and I also needed to take a nap. I nap frequently anyway. I have to take 100 milligrams of tramadol and my coffee when I get up every day. I used to take 15 milligrams. You do what you have to do. I take my medication that helps me with the pain relief. Thank you, Echo. Thank you so much, and welcome on in. Thank you for everybody showing up. Again, 8 o'clock tonight is the big celebration we're going to have. And at the end of that live, we're going to do a $25 gift card to anyone that is in the chat. So that's awesome. And then go check out my grandmother's spaghetti sauce. I made that. I'm going to have that later. And in with that video, of course, is oh, thank you, Echo, so much for that. I appreciate that, hon. In with that video is a giveaway. So in with that video is at the very end is $25 or $10 gift card to Hobby Lobby, and 2 of our soap caddies, and one of our we started making shampoo bars, so we'll be including one of those. So that is going to that's running from yesterday all the way through until July 1st. or July 21st, and that actually is going to be Josh and I's 18th wedding anniversary. And so that's when we're running that. And we will not be commenting on any of the comments on the video. That is just to keep everybody safe. There are people that will take our profile picture, make up a name that's close to ours, say you won something when you didn't. We will never ask you for your personal information. We'll like a comment, but we will not, comment anywhere on that video from Blessed to Crochet, so just to keep you all safe. But there is a secret word. Make sure you pay attention to that secret word in there, because that's how we're going to choose the winner. So anyway, first, you got to get your hands busy with something. I don't care if it's taking one of those coloring books from the store and coloring, crochet, knitting. Diamond painting is a wonderful way. I can't wait to get back. I have a light board finally. Josh got me one a little bit ago, but I'm so busy with the crochet right now. I'm finishing up a special blanket. I've got another one for our church. I want to start making our own patterns, and it's just not happening. But get your hands busy. Diamond painting is a wonderful way of doing it. If the numbers are too small, get a magnifying glass. I had one and a light. That does help tremendously, and use that. But diamond painting is a wonderful way. They're not really terribly expensive. If you're trying to find content, I want to do that on the YouTube channel, be able to do diamond painting, and it's just so relaxing to do. I have one for Elvis, and it's a lot of black, and I need to finish that one up. But diamond painting is a wonderful way. Crocheting, find something to get your hands busy. Moving around does help. Here's the one thing that I'm going to say. Oh, your light board is great help, but if you tend to have if you tend to not be able to see the numbers, the magnifying glass that you can hook onto the light board is great. I think I have one for it, because eyes get older and you can't see the numbers. I'm sorry, Yarn Barf, but you got to find something. And if you can't, because like what Yarn Barf said, if you can't do something with your hands, find something to watch. I got into Little House on the Prairie. And I got into it, guys, when I was kind of going through. I knew I was going to have a really difficult time. The medication that I was on, for those that don't know, I was in the hospital over Easter with trigger warning, and of course for women out there, with a cycle that just was not stopping. And so it was 10 days prior to me going into the hospital. I actually almost passed out. They almost had to call the paramedics on Easter, and I was taken to the hospital, and I was kept overnight. And the medication I was on took 3 rounds for it to kind of get my body back to some semblance of, things stopping. And hopefully the next time around, things will actually be back to normal. When you have fibromyalgia or chronic pain, if you do have a cycle as a woman, those can be more painful. But this specific medication, because of my age, yes, I'm celebrating my 29th birthday again, I could not be put on birth control because of the estrogen in the birth control medication. I had to be put on just the progesterone, and I'm going to probably say that wrong, medication, so that it would get my body back to some semblance of everything. I did my research, and I went into actual forums that other women were talking about coming off this medication. A lot of them said, give it time, which I'm thankful I did. It takes a little bit for it to work. It's great, but when you're coming off of it, the headaches are terrible and the cramps are horrible. And that's exactly what happened the week that I knew that I first was on 20 milligrams in the hospital. Then I went on to 10. Then I went on for 10 days and I stopped. Then they had to put me back on 20 milligrams a couple days later for 10 days. Then I went down to 10 milligrams for 10 days. And I knew when I was going to come off of this medication, it was going to be miserable. So I got myself involved in Little House on the Prairie. And I'm telling you, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And I didn't think I was. Now, Josh says, when are you going to get into the Waltons? I said, I've never really been one into the Waltons, but I'm telling you, I got myself into that. I spent some time on the couch with Mocha, which was very helpful. And that's our dog. It's our grand dog. We're caring for it, for the Mocha right now. And Josh and I would sit, watch Little House in the Prairie, and I was almost transported to another world for a while. The focus was not, this hurts, this hurts, this hurts, I'm miserable. Because here was the thing too. I wasn't sure that this was going to be the end. I didn't know if they were going to have to put me on another 10 days of the medication. I thought, I've got to just ride this out and see what happens. And I'm thankful I did. But I knew it was going to be a difficult time. So there are wonderful series on television that have multiple seasons. Even if I've seen Little House on the Prairie, but I didn't watch the entire thing. And I'll tell you what, when I forgot his name now, Michael Landon. When Michael Landon laughs, he can't help but light up a room. So when there was times of happy times, it made me smile. And then when there was times of difficulty in the show, I thought, you know what? I really don't have anything to complain about. And Diane says, oh, I know, fibromyalgia is a terrible thing, and it affects so much more than people really know. I'm grateful these days I finally... Iverfor? I don't know if that's Liverfor. But I just transported myself. One of the stories that really touched me is I have this really enjoyment of going in and learning about people, about shows. I love doing it with Elvis. We are going to do some Elvis content coming up. There's one I want to talk about the Operation Fountain Pen. You'll be interested. I'm fascinated by that whole thing. And so we'll go into a deep dive about that a little bit. But I love going to learn about shows and learn about the people, and I just love learning about it. And there was a story that, of course, Mama Ingalls told because Johnny Cash and his wife were on the show. And there was an accident that happened with Johnny Cash's son. And they had a lot of acreage, of course, and it was, a pretty severe accident. And Johnny Cash's wife, on the way to the accident, was actually thanking God and being grateful to God on the way to the accident. She didn't know if her son was alive or not here, but she was thanking him on the way. That changed my mentality. That one story has stuck with me after I listened to interviews with, Karen, who played Mama Ingalls, and I listened to other stories and so forth. That one story stuck with me. And so little things I would find throughout the day that I would say, you know what, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. I mean, just the littlest things I would find. So if you can't do something with your hands, try to get involved with a series. Even if you watched it 10,000 times over. I can turn on Benson anytime and actually just remember the feeling I had when I watched it for the first time and just fall back in love with it. I'm watching That's the Way It Is with Elvis. I've seen that multiple times, but I was doing some crochet and singing and so forth and just totally enjoying it. I think the more and more I think about it, I know I wanted to get caught up on my birthday. I think I'm going to let the devotion sit. I may record 2 or 3 today, but I'm going to really focus on getting them caught up tomorrow. I'd like to just relax a little bit today and just enjoy it. I know the old shows I think are the best. I have Roku TV. I can binge watch I Love Lucy and Johnny Carson. Lucy still cracks me up 65 years later. They don't make shows like that anymore Mr. Belvedere was another one that I can put on, and even though I've watched the entire series, I can put it back on again, and it brings a smile to my face. Put on a series, get lost in another world. And of course, the time period that Little House on the Prairie was in was such a different time period. Carol Burnett as well, different time period than what we have now. And so, I've caught myself turning on the water or the faucet, and thank you so much that we have a faucet in the house, and thank you so much we don't have an outhouse. You know, so, we have to, when we're dealing with chronic pain, we have to realize that there's people around us that don't understand it. And I think if they're not living with you necessarily, they don't get it. You look, and I look perfectly normal. And there's days, man, my mom sees me and I'm really, really struggling with, doing this. I mean, I think I could go back to bed and take a 2-hour nap. I'm just tired. And I've looked at the times that I've kind of recorded the devotions thinking, I look tired. And it's just because my body has been through so much in the past 2.5 months. It's just trying to play catch up. Now, I will say, and I've said this to Josh recently, I know it hurts to move because he deals with fibromyalgia. And I think everybody that deals with chronic pain or fibromyalgia tends to have different symptoms. They live with it differently. I said, you know what? I know it hurts to move, but you got to move. You got to move, even though it hurts. And, that's something that it is. But at the same time, you have to listen to your body. If my body is telling me to stop, I need to stop. If I need to rest, I need to rest. And so you have to literally take one day by one day. And Yarn Barf is saying, I have fiber also along with RA. Disc generation, I have that too. Ankylosing spondylitis. I can't even say it. I'm not going to try. Some days the pain depresses me so much that I can't get motivated to do much. I understand. I understand 100%. I can tell you it's not so much the pain that has got me right now as far as the motivation. It's just the tiredness. It's kind of like, can I get over the tired feeling already? I just want to get over it. And my body's like, nope, not yet. We're still trying to recover from everything. And Diane says, I thought about the same thing the other day and was talking with my son. I can't imagine having to live in those days. Little house, all the wagons and the rides, and no electricity and water. And Diane says, creating comforts we often take for granted. Absolutely. We just have to be realizing that, first of all, I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned is you cannot beat yourself up as a chronic pain patient. You can't have people understand what it's like. If they don't understand, too bad. If they're not coming to you saying, can you explain this? One of my most frustrating things raising Christina over the time is there were parents that instead of coming to me and maybe saying, let's meet for coffee someplace, can you explain to me what it's like to raise a child with autism? Instead of doing that, you know what they did? They would just, keep an arm's length distance from me. If you want to understand what it's like for someone else to be going through chronic pain or whatever it may be, sit down and talk with them. And God gave us one mouth and 2 ears for a reason, as Judge Judy says. And if you don't listen to what they're saying, shame on you. You better listen, because they're trying to tell you. It is not at that point in time. Hi, Snapback Coach. It's not your time at that point to start in. It's your time to be quiet and listen. You may not totally understand it, but you're not in their shoes. I love Elvis's song, Walk a Mile in My Shoes, because it's so true. We cannot understand what it's like in my body as I can't understand what it's like in yours. If you have a loved one who is struggling with chronic pain or fibromyalgia and they say they're tired and you look at them and criticize them, shame on you. You're not in their body. You have no idea what it's like. And this is a symptom of fibromyalgia. And it fired up a little bit about it only because this is one of the ones that's close to my heart. You have no idea what it's like to go to bed. This was me yesterday. I was so tired last night. And I was just hurting and I could not fall asleep till probably about 4 o'clock in the morning. Josh woke me up to a wonderful Dunkin' Donuts breakfast this morning. And I still feel like I had zero sleep. Oftentimes, fibromyalgia patients or chronic pain patients feel like they didn't get any sleep. You know how frustrating that is? To wake up and feel as tired as you went to bed. Now, I can say yesterday afternoon, I took a nap and actually woke up feeling refreshed for a little bit. And I really do believe that if you're dealing with chronic pain as a person, I think you need to realize that, you know what, naps may be very well in your future. And I can't tell you what community does. When I am kind of down in the dumps, getting on here and talking with my people, or getting within the chat, even when I don't feel like, in other great communities like Snapback and Yarn Buff and some of these other wonderful communities, and connecting with people, just help a little bit. YouTube, when I first got involved with YouTube, I thought it was just a place to go watch videos. Now it's a place where community is being built. People like me, I know it sounds weird, we haven't really been out of the house much. So if I'm having a really difficult day, clothing has to be really loose, it has to be really soft, because the touch of anything on my skin, that's why I know I probably could do a little bit better. I have started putting on a little bit blush or powder or something. Some days it doesn't happen because just, putting blush on or putting powder on my face hurts. I know that sounds so unusual to people, but it's the truth. Spraying my hair, what little hair that I have, I try. But I have fine hair. But, the reason I don't do that is not because, I don't want to look nice on YouTube. Hopefully I do. But because usually throughout the day, I need to maybe lay down and take a nap. And I don't want to take a nap with makeup on and hairspray in my hair. I do it on the way to church, so you get to see it then. But I want you to get to know who Mary is. And hopefully I'm presentable and look nice, and my smile certainly hopefully will do it. And I'm so sorry, Diane, that you're having a rough day. I'll be praying that things will cease, and that you'll have a better day. I'll be praying for that. I'm having a pretty good day today. So the action plan for today is about 4 or 4:30. We're going to have dinner. We're going to have my grandmother's spaghetti sauce. Yum. And then after we do that, we're going to, at 7 o'clock, I will be on, and Snapback will also be on there, celebrating his 50th Iron Sharpening Iron show. So I will be on there. And then I will be on, we'll be on at 8 o'clock to do our celebration. And I don't know if I can figure out how to do it. Let's see. We can give it a try. Right? We can see. We can see. I don't know if I can figure out how to do it. Because I'd love to be able to do it, but of course I don't have StreamYard anymore. One of these days I'm looking forward to get back into StreamYard, I'll tell you that. I think you have to add a widget. I think you have to add a widget to it. I think. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see what that is. Recordings. Highlight. App Store. Overlays. Yeah, I have to figure out how to do it. Log out. That's not going to do it. Settings. I have to figure out how to do it. Because I think there's a way to add people. I just don't know how to do it. I wish there was. Be nice if there was, I can tell you that. So maybe later I'm going to sit here and see if I could figure it out, because I'd love to have people on tonight for our thing. I just don't know how to do it yet. But I know you have to add a scene. I wonder if I add source. Let's see. Let's see. Because I don't know if there's a link that I can put in the chat. That's what I'm trying to see. So, let's see. I guess. Let's see what this does while I'm here. I have no idea what it is. But, oh, there is a link. Okay. Wonderful. So I can create a link to the thing, and then I could go ahead and do it. Okay. So I don't know if it'll work, but we can try it tonight. I'll put it on this little scene thing. And we can try it tonight. I can create the link, and then I would just have to be able to put it into the group. So that's something I figured out. So I'll have to sit there and do it. But we can. It looks like I was able to put a camera in, and I have a link. So we can try tonight and see what happens. Because I'd like to have, I'd like to be able to have some people on tonight. So we will see. At least I was able to do that. If I could just figure out how to get chat on the screen, that would be, individual comments. I'm looking for that. But at least I got the collaboration camera. So we'll try tonight to open it up and see what happens. I may have to send it to myself and then put it in the chat, or I can actually open a YouTube screen and make that happen. So we'll see, right? We'll give it a try tonight. But again, I think, first of all, I think the top thing is community and connection are very important for those dealing with chronic pain, for sure. Make sure that your hands are busy, or at least your mind is busy. Get yourself involved with something. I think another thing is, don't be afraid to reach out to people within your community or people within your church. I think that that's very, very important to make sure that you are doing that as well. Because, if you call your church and you're unable to go to church for whatever reason, then, you can, call them and see if you can have people come visit you. I think that's very, very important if you cannot get out of the house. Don't beat yourself up. Don't expect for people. That's awesome, Diana. Don't expect for people to understand what it's like to be in your body. And listen, we can be so vocal on so many things, but when we tend to, and there was a lady, it was actually a Facebook reel, and she said she was sitting with a pastor, or not a pastor, it was a community, it was like a counselor, because she couldn't afford, to sit with an actual professional counselor. So she was able to do that. And she said she was telling her all these things that she was doing. She had gone through a divorce, or she put her kids in front of the TV, and she wasn't really making the greatest meals, but she'd make macaroni and cheese for her kids and so forth and so on. And he says, do you realize what an amazing mom you are? You're making macaroni and cheese. I'm sure, trying it to make sure it's not too hot. You're putting your kids in front of the TV so that they can laugh, so they're not seeing you cry. What an amazing mother you are. So you know what we tend to do? We tend to kind of beat ourselves up and talk to ourselves up. To kind of talk to ourselves in a way that we wouldn't allow anybody else to talk to us. So don't do that. And if it means you need to talk out loud, I do it all the time. If you need, I say to my husband, yeah, I'm having a meeting. If you need to say to yourself, I'm not allowed to talk to myself like that. So that means if somebody is coming to you and saying, you know what, this and this and so forth, you have a right to make sure that you are saying to them, you know what, I really understand you don't understand this, but I need for you to just be respectful, because this is not up for discussion. How I feel, or what, what's going on with myself, you're not in my body. And so I can't make you understand it, but I need you to be respectful of the fact that this is what I struggle on a daily basis with. And if you're somebody that is caretaking or having somebody in your life that is dealing with chronic pain, and I just put Big Jack Storytime's 50th show with the iron sharpening iron, so I will be on that tonight before our live at 8. If you're with somebody that's dealing with chronic pain, don't judge. If they're sitting down and laying it down and taking a nap, let them. Now, here's the one thing that I'm going to say. There's a difference between sitting down and realizing, yeah, I need a nap. I very well may need a nap today. Like I said, I want to do some devotions, but it just depends how far this body is going to work today. If you're taking care of somebody or having somebody in your life with chronic pain, and you can see, you know what, I see that they're depressed. There's a difference with me. It says, you know what, I'm having to take more naps in the day because of what my body's been through in 2.5 months. I'm not really depressed. I can say I'm a little sad today. Even though it's my birthday, I'm sad because my dad's not here. Father's Day was on Sunday, and Patty's not here. It's the first birthday I'm going through without Patty. And there's a part of me that I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm not going to cry. Thinking to myself, I really wish she'd call me on the phone and wish me happy birthday, and she's not going to. So that one's a little rough one. I can say that without a doubt. But just be careful that when you are having someone in your life that is dealing with chronic pain, watch out if you can see, you know what, yeah, they're dealing with chronic pain. However, you know what, they seem awful depressed. Because depression can get into an unsafe place, over time or very quickly. So just be paying attention, because I can tell you to go to bed, wake up, and, hurt, and then wake up and hurt and wake up. There's never a day I'm never in pain, and it gets to be depressing after a while. When I was going through all that stuff over the past 2.5 months, man, I felt like I was just in a place that I was like, there's no light at the end of this tunnel. Hi, Alice, how are you? There's no light. But we have to be careful. It's a fine line for people that have chronic pain to be able to say, okay, they're dealing with their normal stuff, to where they may be getting into a place of depression where they may need to go seek some counseling, or seek some medication. Unfortunately, the depression medicine, when I take it, tends to do the opposite of actually doing anything. It really actually makes me feel like I'm on a boat, and it actually makes me very irritable. So I can't go on depression medicine. But I have to be very careful that if I see myself kind of going there, what am I doing? I'm hopping on to communities within YouTube. I'm getting on here. It is why this channel for me is solid connection. I don't want any of the revenue. It goes to Mama. I'm very grateful for anybody that has a membership, that's kept a membership, that's gifted a membership, that is given super chats and all that. All that goes to Mama, and I'm thrilled to death for it to go. I need the connection. I have to have the connection. And I have made some long-term friends. You know, when I was kind of debating on whether or not I needed to go to the hospital or not, I called one of the friends I found here on YouTube. They had some nursing experience, and they actually encouraged me, and it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, Easter morning, to go to the hospital. And it wasn't until I got up and I was trying to get ready to go to church, and Josh thankfully was standing there, and I just turned and I literally fell in his arms, and he said, "We're done. You're going one way or the other." And so I am so thankful he was there, because I probably would have face planted on the floor. And then when I got to the hospital, I had to have nurses actually help me off the chair because I was so unsteady. But I was so thankful that I actually had that little friend in my ear saying to me, "You really need to go to the hospital. This is not normal, and you may be at a point where you need a blood transfusion." They were considering that. I'm very thankful I went. But, again, we really have to make sure that, depression is real. With my daughter, after my grandmother passed away, she went into a stage of depression really quick and really fast. And it was actually really scary. And I got on to the phone with the doctor very quickly, and I actually had medication very soon, and you could see the uptake. And she's still on depression medicine. Depression runs in our family. And even when down the road she becomes pregnant, she can still take that depression medicine. And she may have to be on it for the rest of her life. There's nothing wrong with it. But we need to be careful, because chronic pain comes with depression. It also comes with anxiety. And I'm going to say this too, it tends to change you. I'm not the same person I was before I am dealing with chronic pain. I have chronic pain. It has changed me. It's changed how I lived my life. It's changed what I can do. It changes what I can't do, because of it. And I have to make sure that I am just monitoring myself and other people around me. I know at any given time there are people I could call on the phone and literally cry over the phone with, and I've never met them in person. I'm an only child, but man, do I have some sisters and brothers for sure. And I know if I really needed them, I could get on the phone and just cry. And I have my family, but to have that time, to be in a position where I say to myself, before I got on YouTube, I felt like I didn't have a friend in the world, and now I have friends here within my church community, and I can honestly say to myself, I am proud to be who I am, because everybody else is taken, and we are going to get that on a shirt. I'm going to put this out there. If anybody is good with logos, I'd like to have somebody who can deconstruct our logo. Alfonso is wonderful. I will put his channel in the chat too as well. He can, of course, get it up to specs for our merch store. But I would like for somebody to take our logo and make it circular. I love the heart. I love everything about it. I love the crochet hooks made into crosses. I love it. But I need somebody to make it circular, and I wanted to say Blessed to Crochet, of course, with the crochet hooks, with the heart inside, and then I want it crocheting connection underneath, and be able to do it so that when we do our merch stuff, it is easier to put on. It's kind of not the easiest because the crochet hook is like off center and it doesn't want to line up and it takes a little bit. And I want to have crochet connection underneath, and I want to be able to order a shirt for myself so I can wear, but I don't want to do that until I have had somebody do that. But I love our logo, and I know I can give it over to Alfonso. He's done our Drama Llama ones. I got to order one of them too. You know, no drama here, right? Just drama about yarn. That's the only thing we'll take. But if anybody's good with that, that would like to deconstruct our logo and have fun with it and see what they can do, I've kind of fooled around with it a little bit. I need to sit and fool around with it a little bit more, but I would greatly appreciate it. I just haven't found one that I kind of, yay, this is it. I'll find it. But if anybody wants to take that on, let me know and I can send you the logo and have fun with it. But again, be kind to yourself if you're dealing with chronic pain. If you love somebody with chronic pain, I'm going to say one thing. When you want to give your advice to them or what you think that they should do, I want you to do this. I know that sounds really weird, but the last thing they need to hear from you is criticism of what they're not doing, what they cannot do. The fact if they just moved a little bit more, they'd feel better. Now, I am making Josh, now that I'm kind of back on my, back to myself. Hi, handmade and homegrown. How you doing? I am making him move a little bit because he needs to, but I'm also realizing that he needs to move at his pace. I'd like to get back to the pool at our Y. We have a pool at the Y. I want to get back to that a couple days a week because I can move in the pool. So can he a little bit differently than I can, on the ground. But if you're loving somebody with chronic pain, you need to be quiet. Please don't criticize them. They're going through enough stuff. You're not in their body. Just take a cup of Tylenol, you'll be fine. Well, you know what? Tylenol for me is like water. The next time you're at an amusement park or you've worked out a little bit too much and you're sore, think of somebody in your life that is dealing with chronic pain and say, that's what they deal with every day. It changes you. If you have somebody you love that's dealing with chronic pain and they're changed, it's because, man, they're just exhausted. They're living a very different life than they were dealing with before. Love them. Help them. Sit with them. Talk to them. If you're a friend and you want to take them out to lunch and they can't do that day, bring the lunch to them. If you have somebody within your church dealing with chronic pain, go to Sam's Club, buy some chickens, deliver it to their house. All they have to do is do a couple sides and they've got their chicken. Guys, I cannot tell you. I know it sounds so, chronic pain. Pain is kind of everywhere. When you're dealing with it on a daily basis, it's a whole different ballgame. And you, please don't beat yourself up for it. Guys, you can't. You cannot beat yourself up. You have to love who you are. You have to be grateful. And we're at 7:15. We're going to get there. Our next goal is 2,000. I'm going to bypass 1,800, 1,900. We'll get there for sure. And we're going to start channel shout outs again on community post. I'm getting back on track. I just got to get caught up with devotions. And one thing I didn't want to do is I wanted that grandmother's spaghetti sauce to kind of sit until tomorrow. So I didn't want to upload any more videos until tomorrow. So I'm doing that. But give me a couple days to kind of get caught up with the devotions. And, again, I want to say this too real quick. before we go forward with anything. This channel has crochet. Make it blessed to connection if you don't crochet. It is focused on crocheting connection for the benefit of bringing people together. We don't teach crochet. We do some yarn reviews here and there, but we focus on connection. It is so important in your mental life and your physical life, especially if you're dealing with chronic pain or any kind of illness that may you're having to deal with. It does help in so many wonderful ways. We do the devotions, we do them pre-recorded. So if you go to our channel and you look at all the videos, you say, oh, this channel is a crochet channel and a spiritual channel. No, it's not. It is crocheting connection. It is the first thing that we have as far as our mission statement. We felt last year that it was really important that we did devotions. And I'm telling you, this is the book we're using this year. Next year, we're going to be using Lisa Harper's, and I have a book actually from Little House on the Prairie. We're going to be doing that too. This is the book we're using for our yearly devotions, and we also, at Christmas time, filled 2 shoe boxes last year. We're hoping to fill at least 3 shoe boxes this year for Samaritan's Purse. And I chose this book, and I will tell you that God knew what I needed, because Patty passed, and there was devotions in there about heaven, glorious heaven, and it's been a very, very comforting devotion for especially me this year. But if you go, the reason why we do pre-recorded devotions is for those that want to watch it, and those that don't have to. A majority of our lives are focused on topics, connection, whether we're sitting and I'm crocheting a blanket outside. I haven't been able to go outside because of all the pollen in the spring and my allergies, right? Our lives are not focused on that kind of stuff. We do the recordings of the devotions, and even if it doesn't match the day of the day, there's still 5.5 months worth of devotions. No, actually, yeah, almost 6 months worth of devotions. You can go listen to any one of them and get fed for that day. But it's an important part of this channel as far as our cornerstone. And if we have just a couple people that say, you know what, those devotions really help me, or I really can't get to church as often as I like because I deal with chronic pain, and those really help me and they feed me, it's all worth it. So please don't feel as if you come here and this is a spiritual channel. We're a channel of connection. That's the main purpose. And I want to encourage you by saying that, is when you're on YouTube, go look at a channel. Go and see what their community post has. Are they sharing other channels? Are they lifting up other channels? What are they doing? And then you want to be able to go and look at things like, the next thing you want to go look at what their live streams are. Are there live streams in there talking about, community and topics and so forth? Are they connecting people together within their live streams? Then you want to go look at their videos. Then you want to go look at their shorts. Go look at them. Don't just judge, a book by its cover. Go look at the channel itself. And that way, and Diana, I don't know why I wasn't subscribed to you, but I went ahead and subscribed. So, go look at what they're doing. Go look at their channel. Go past their name and go look at their channel. And you may find a community within that channel that really helps you get through your day. And if you're somebody who's doing content, go outside of your comfort zone. I've gone to fishing channels, homestead channels, all different kind of channels, because I have found different communities within different communities and great friends along the way. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad I reminded you to take your medicine. I took in Free Enemy for a few months. He was abusive to me because I can't do much. He would make me angry. I said to him, "What part of my disability do you not understand?" Well, first of all, no, not, uh, not okay. And I think that some people, you hit them over the head, and they're never going to understand it. There's people in my life that I guarantee you don't understand it unless they live with it. We have a lady in our church whose daughter has fibromyalgia, and she says, "I understand Mary in a way that the rest of you probably don't understand because I live with somebody with this. When she has to go rest, she has to go rest." It's that simple. So don't beat yourself up. If other people do not have to understand you, your disability, they need to be respectful to you. And if they're not respectful, you have a right to respectfully say, "No, that's not how you're going to talk to me." Don't allow yourself to talk to yourself that way. Keep your mind and your hands, if you can, busy. And ask people to come on in. People within your community, people within your church. Call a friend. "Listen, I can't go out, but you know what? Can you bring lunch? I'll pay for it." They may sit there for 2 hours, and it may be the best $20 you spend, if you can. Or can you just bring a cup of coffee and we'll sit down? Maybe go get some cookies from the store. Sit and just chit chat. Have them come over and watch a movie. Have them come over and crochet. Bring the crochet hooks. We'll travel. Whatever it is. We have to find ways to get through this thing we call life. And when you're dealing with chronic pain, you're dealing with other issues and disabilities, it can be very difficult. But you've got something here within this community and other communities on YouTube that I think we're scratching the surface on, just having channels. Everybody says, "Well, what is your niche?" Next niche is connection. And I will never live without it. There's sometimes I've had to pull back from it a little bit, actually. And that week that I was kind of going through a heck of a lot of stuff with coming off that medication, I had to pull away because the headaches were really bad, the cramps were really bad, and it was just too much. I miss going to Rock Church, but when my pickup truck isn't in the driveway, my place, gee. Well, you know what? If you miss going, my place gets broken into. If you miss going, you should see if you can call, and maybe there would be somebody willing to come there and visit with you. I think we forget to reach out for help, and I think we forget to reach out to people that can come and give us that, because this is great. Having this community is wonderful. Having people within the internet is wonderful. But we have to forget, we need to forget that also in person is another wonderful, wonderful way. Well, that's fine. No worries. But I think sometimes we forget that, of course, we have to have in person too. And call your church, call your community, and see if people will come and visit and connect with you. There's a local program within here we were trying to get involved with, and we didn't happen, maybe next year, where there was letters going back and forth between middle school kids, and you got hooked up with a child and you went back and forth with letters with them. They would send you one, you would send them another, and then they would have a pizza party at the end of it. So just to get to know you. But you may not be able to do the pizza party, but maybe there's pen pal things within the school that you can do that, and so forth. So I just think that we need to realize how important connection is. It's a vital part of dealing with anything, dealing with life. All right, thank you, Sandy, for stopping on by. Hopefully I'll see you at 8 o'clock tonight. Thank you again for the super chat. That was awesome. So y'all, I'm going to get off here. I think I'm going to go have something to eat. I'm hungry, actually, and I'm going to have another cup of coffee. Dunkin' Donuts was great, but I need a cup of my own cup of coffee. And then I don't know. We'll see. I may tonight after the thing do a couple devotions, but I don't know. I just want to watch Elvis for a while. I think I'm going to do what I need to do, and tomorrow I can get on it. If I can get a couple done, I will. But I know the longer I wait to get caught up, the longer it's going to take. But let's take a moment. Memberships are available. We have our 99-cent memberships. Our 99-cent memberships, and I don't know what happened. Oh, there we go. Our 99-cent memberships, which is the thank you very much. And then we have our memberships that are the $2.99, and that just means that videos come out to those members before anybody else. So you don't have to be a member. The first part of this is, of course, thanking our members. The second part of this is just remembering thank you very much to everyone that shows up. And, of course, reminding you to be that awesome disco ball that you are. And, of course, there's Elvis, so I'm happy to see Elvis anytime I certainly can see him.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So anyway, I got to see Elvis. I'm cool, right? So join us again tonight. Remember, 7 p.m. I'll be on Big Jack Storytime. At 8 p.m. we're gonna rock it out, and I will try the camera and see if we can get people on. For sure. Yep, Elvis is my favorite. That is for sure, and always will be. And I think I'm going to go have a cup of coffee. I think I may even take a nap, and then I'll have my grandmother's spaghetti sauce shortly. And I know I should do devotions for the next hour, but no. It's my birthday. I can party the way I want to party, right? So remember to be proud of being yourself. Everyone else is taken. I will after tonight's live do a couple devotions, probably about 2 or 3. We'll probably have about a 2-hour live tonight. So it'll give me the opportunity to do 2 or 3 devotions before I head to bed. I will have to do that, otherwise I know myself, right? So anyway, be proud of being yourself. Everyone else is taken. Keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook is required. We got you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered. And we'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. for my birthday party. And I'll let you know how much that spaghetti sauce really was. I'm sure it tasted wonderful yesterday. It's going to taste even more today. We're having my grandmother's spaghetti sauce, Caesar salad, and Pepperidge Farm cake. She always used to have one of those Pillsbury. I'm going to not Pillsbury. Petra Farms. I'm going to say it, but I can't. In the freezer, she always used to have one of those, and mint chocolate chip ice cream. So that's my birthday cake. That's what I wanted. So that's what we're going to have for our dinner. And so we're going to have that early because my mom needs to have it early because of the tomatoes. And because if I don't, then 7 and 8 o'clock are going to go by and whoosh, I won't have it. Yeah, Pepperidge Ridge Farms. I've said it wrong all week long. So Josh has corrected me, and I'm like, forget it. I have Pillsbury's in my head, and I'm thinking Pepperidge Farms and whatever it is. But they don't have too many anymore. But she used to have one of those in her refrigerator. But anyway. So thank you all for just celebrating and talking about chronic pain. It's something that certainly is a passion of mine, along with autism, along with service dogs, along with a lot of other topics. And if you're new to this channel and you need, go back. There's a lot of other things. There's a lot of great recipes. There's a lot of great topics. There's our devotions that my daughter has sung on this channel. There's just so many things to watch. There's been a lot of content on this channel, and it'll just continue to grow. And we're not stopping now. We're getting on to 2,000, right? Thank you, Yarn Barf, and gentle hugs to you too as well. I love you all. I'll see you later tonight. Have a blessed day. I'm having a wonderful birthday so far. You put a smile on my face. Now, I'm going to go have a snack, going to go have another cup of coffee, and watch Elvis. Put even a bigger smile on my face, right? Love y'all. See you tonight. Bye-bye for now. God bless.